But first, let's start with the definition of dynamic pricing. We also shared it 2 years ago, and Antoine Gounod already came with this concept in the 19th century. I don't want to give a kind of a history lesson here, but it seems Antoine was a real pioneer and a real visionary, because if you can come with this concept in the 19th century without having all these data and technology in place, you really have a good vision about how the future will look like. It's especially here about the definition. I think dynamic pricing is used in a lot of different definitions, but he defined as the study of determining optimal selling prices of products and services in the settings where prices can easily and frequently be adjusted. And especially, I think I would like to highlight here, that's why it's green, optimal, because it really depends on what is optimal to the person you ask it. Like if you ask it to an e-commerce manager, it could be different than if you ask it to your financial colleague or to your marketing colleague. So having optimal in the definition, that could make a lot of different definitions as well to define what is the optimal price. Is it the lowest price? Is it the price for the highest margin? Or is it the best price for the customer? That really depends on the definition. So there's a lot of freedom in this definition, and that's what we also would like to talk to in this webinar, because an optimal price for one customer is not the optimal price for the other customer, and the optimal price for your competitor is a different price than for you. Let's go over the current state of the market. I shared this visual before for this webinar, and it's actually a well-known quote of Dane Orley, an economist and a professor of Stanford, and he has a well-known familiar quote about big data. Actually, I made a cross of it for dynamic pricing. The same is actually true for dynamic pricing, because from outside it looks like that every web shop or every e-commerce company is using dynamic pricing nowadays. But in practice, you see a lot of companies struggle to go beyond competitive pricing. Of course, competition is a really important driver, but it's really important not to solely focus on this competition. It's also really important to focus on the supply and demand, on the financial metrics. And in this webinar, I would like to give you insights how you can do that, and that you really can apply a dynamic pricing approach. And that's what the goal of the webinar right now.